Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, and welcome to an edition of Westbridge Hills. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. So, where's my... I guess they're all done. I finished up the field over there. Field number 17, I think it is. Finished up both of these fields. I finished harvesting this field, and I baled the rest of that field as well. So we have a whole bunch of bales sitting in the field at the moment, just like this field right here. So this leads me to what we need to do today, which is sell a little bit of our barley. So it's currently 9:08. So we have 1 hour to sell. 1 hour to sell not all, but some of our barley. And I already checked to see where the current best place to sell it, and luckily actually it's at the flour mill, which is really close to us, which is really cool. And also, let me just show you something else that I noticed. See how this is right here? It shows how much the price is and what the actual great demand is for. So unfortunately, it's a great demand for wheat, not barley. That would have been way cooler if it was for wheat, or for barley, sorry, but can't win them all in this scenario. Anyways, so we have to sell a little bit of our barley here so we can make some money. Because we are in the negative at the moment, we have minus $3,100. So we need to go ahead and make some more money back. So as you can see, those are all the bales there currently on the field. One of the cool features that I was mentioning before was about statistics and whether you could see how many bales you actually made. So this session right here, I've made 56 bales. I have no idea how many bales the stacker picks up. I think it's like 16 maybe or something along in that area. So we're gonna have to deal with that as it comes. One of the interesting things I noticed was if your trailer is already filled with a little bit of a crop, so in this case, let's say barley, it will actually, you don't need to select which one you want to fill it with. It'll automatically just choose the one that's already in the trailer, which I thought was kind of interesting. At your silos, of course, I'm referring to. So there's an example of where you have to be careful, because this is the flour mill, yeah. Where you have to be careful in terms of how fast you take that turn. I should have slowed down a lot more there, but alas, I did not. Thankfully, we're not playing with a damage mod or anything, but there we go. Back in the positives. This is good. So I believe it is, let's see, bale handling. Where's bale handling here? Not there, apparently. I need to scroll down. Baling technology. Here we go. So it's only 20. Oh no, not that one. This is $45,000. It does hold 16 bales. I thought it was only 16. So it's $45,000. So hopefully we can make that much money, and it seems like we'll be able to. So we got 10 grand for that, and we need 40. So that's going to be probably 4 loads, I guess, which is going to be 120,000 liters actually. So we'll have to be careful, because what that means is we can get the auto stacker or we can get a new seeder, and that's kind of a tough choice actually, because while I would like to pick up the bales faster, I think it will take a lot less time to actually plant the fields if I get a planter first, because we only have, let's just take a look, how much do we have? 170. So it's gonna take 4 loads roughly to make enough money to sell. So we're gonna have, well, let's just see what we end up with in the end. I don't know if we'll have quite enough money to get 2 things. So that'll be interesting, because I would like to get a new seeder and the auto stacker, because I just made a whole bunch of bales of straw, and we can actually sell the bales of straw too. That's a good point. I don't know why I never think about that. Mainly I think it's because you don't make a whole lot of money from it. I think that's the reason why. Yeah, so it was interesting. I discovered that if you have something in the trailer already, it will automatically fill it with what's already in the trailer. Whereas right now the trailer is empty, so I'll need to choose what to fill it with, which is kind of interesting. Is that over there? Do I really have to have this HUD up? Or am I really... Oh, I'm really not that far. There we go. We want barley. But we're going to see if we can make enough money to get the... We'll get the auto stacker, and then if we can sell some straw, because we don't need a whole bunch of straw yet. So that will be an option while we're doing that, I suppose. Alright. So we need $45,000 is what we need, so I might as well just keep the HUD up. And we will do a little turn here. There we go. I'm kind of annoyed that that other New Holland that we just picked out, the T8, can't actually use this trailer. It seems a bit strange that you can't hook it up. I'm kind of surprised by that, but I guess c'est la vie. I don't know. Anyways, let's go through some of the comments from episode number 2 now. We went through some of the comments in episode number 1, and there was quite a few actually, so I'm going to go through some of the ones from episode number 2. So Alexa says, let me just make this turn first. So Alexa says that in Serbia, I don't get it, in Serbia, we plow on a 30-degree hill with a 40 horsepower tractor and it doesn't have any problems. Excuse me. Doesn't have any problems, so this gives you an idea that in real life, sometimes things are a little different, of course, so it kind of changes in the game versus real life. But it does, you know, the fact that they added something like that in this game is really cool, because before I probably could have used a historic tractor to pull that baler and have it and run it without a problem, whereas now, with a 160 horsepower tractor, it's having problems, so... Just to give you an idea of how the game has changed, which is really cool, actually. I really appreciate it. Cossie says there's some John Deere 7930s available. I think that was mentioned already by a couple people now. Apparently people want me to pick up those John Deeres. I think the 7930, they must be the ones by Sotilla. As I mentioned last time I saw that particular mod referred to. Lackey Gaming says, you got other sheds to put stuff away. So he's saying I can put stuff away other places, I suppose. Which is very true. I don't need to put it all in the one big barn. A lot of people have asked me about whether I'm going to be playing FS13 anymore, Farming Simulator 13, or 2013 anymore. And there's a possibility. For now, I'm enjoying 2015 a lot, just because it's a big improvement over 2013. And it would actually kind of be funny to go back and play it a little bit. I still have a couple series I could play on. I have the Missouri map, for example, and potentially the Idaho map. It's definitely possible. I can easily go back. I have the save files still. I just, you know, wanted to play on this map because it's, this game, because it is really slick. Really enjoying it. Ted says I should try taking off the weight next time when I'm using this tractor to go up a hill, because we don't actually need it. It's a possibility. I don't know. I'm not sure if it would make a difference in this game, but maybe it would in real life. This is a 4-wheel drive tractor, so that's the reason why I have the weight on. And also I find without the weight, oh, interesting, it keeps the same thing you had last time. The other thing I found is that with the weight, it seems to stick to the ground a bit better, because sometimes it seems like some of the tractors kind of float a bit more than I would like them to. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer to have the weight on pretty much all the time, unless I'm using it for something that that doesn't require the weight. But in most cases, it really does. Alright. Funny, I had a comment a while back saying I should play outside the tractor more often, like in this third-person view. I guess because I was in this view too often, and I wanted to see the farm and what it looked like around the outside. So I'll try and keep that in mind. It's funny, if I stay in cab a lot, I'll get people to say, you know, stay outside the cab. If I stay outside the cab, like, do more in cab. So I try to mix it up a little bit, but it's not easy to have a perfect mix. Let's just say that. Paul Mitchell says, from what he's seen on the tractors in the game, they have all-wheel or four-wheel drive all of the time. There's no option to turn it on or off. Apparently, if you put it over a rock or something like that, you'll be able to see all the tires turning, which is kind of cool, actually. So, And apparently Paul's also mad at me because I've been using the mirrors, and he wanted to play the game with the mirrors, so he had to change his settings a little bit so he could get the mirrors, which is understandable because, as I mentioned before, the mirrors are they're, well, having that setting on is a bit demanding on your system, so you may have to change your settings. For example, your graphics settings, perhaps, or resolution, stuff like that. Nate asked about Idaho and Missouri. It's possible, Nate. Not a guarantee by any means, but it's definitely a possibility. Alright, so we're at 29,000. How much do we have left? We're getting maybe one more. No, we're going to take 2 more loads probably to get. What if the price changes dynamically? 340. Doesn't seem to. Qwerty the farmer says when they bail in Kentucky. I've never been to Kentucky before. Honestly, don't know much about Kentucky. Minus the Kentucky Derby, which I guess is pretty cliche, because that's probably the only thing most people know about Kentucky, I guess. Unless you're from Kentucky, I don't know. It's like here in Canada, people think, if you're not from Canada, people think Canada is always freezing cold. You know, we live in igloos and stuff like that. No, that's obviously not the case. It would be kind of strange if I were to be, you know, playing a video game in an igloo with electricity and stuff like that. But it's always surprising to see what people think. It's the same thing with a lot of people in Canada have the same thoughts about other countries as well. So it's not only people thinking about Canada and what happens here. It works both ways. Difty says that the same Fortis has 190 horsepower and it's only 142,000. And he was thinking maybe that tractor would work for our baler. As you recall, we already picked up a nice New Holland, and that's going to be really good because it will allow us to try out some different options. So, for example, a new seeder would be nice as well. What else we got here? Henrik, or Heinrich, maybe it's supposed to be pronounced. He says, please put the front loader on the New Holland. The front loader is already on the New Holland, so we're good, I guess. What else do we got here? Tazao 420. He says that on the Giant mod hub, there's a Kuhn round baler that requires 90 horsepower. I think I showed that last episode. He is talking about, where is it? Baling technology. This guy right here. So I already have that. Nathan Robson says we probably would need 200 horsepower to pull the baler up a hill, and he was correct. A lot of people pointed that one out. Nathan pointed that out. I think Texas Long Haul pointed that out. Yep, there it is. Who else? There's more than one person pointed that one out. They were like, Ian, you probably need someone in the 200 horsepower range, which is very true. 200 horsepower is a lot more realistic for what I was doing. Nathan just got Farming Simulator 2015 today, he says, which was a couple days ago, I guess. Very awesome, Nathan. Enjoy. It's a lovely game. I'm really enjoying it so far. My only one concern, as I've mentioned before, not about the game specifically, but about the mods being released. Because Giants did set the bar kind of high in terms of what their models are like, it would be interesting to see what the modders do. So that's what I'm slightly concerned about. RC 4x4 says don't use tab to switch between tractors. And Danny Rice says yes. I'll see what I can do, guys. Oh, I can't guarantee. Oh, really? 40,000? Come on. Can't guarantee that I won't use tab. If I have the vehicle switcher, which I do now, like so, I'll be able to just use that instead because I don't have to tab through 100 different vehicles before I get to the one I want. But I'm sure I'll still use tab sometimes. Kasi 41 also mentions about needing more horsepower. Anders was the one who mentioned about the bale counter in the statistics page, which is always good to know. I don't know what it is, but he seems to know a lot about the game. Not necessarily just this game, but also 2013 as well. He was always very informative, so thank you very much, Anders, for being an informative commenter. Always love that. Apparently, Redneck Gamer had a similar problem as I did with the baler, which is the tractor not being able to pull the baler effectively, basically. Daniel also had the same issue when he was using 160 horsepower New Holland. Apparently it wasn't enough to pull the baler up a hill. So it seems like what we need to consider, I guess, is the weight of the baler. The weight of the baler and also the weight of the tractor and how much horsepower you put to the baler and how much horsepower you put to the wheels. Jacob says he loves the graphics. I also love the graphics. They did a really nice job. Even the one thing I wish you could do is kind of peek out the window or something, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh well, I wish I could just see a bit more. So we have about one load left. Oh, that's it? That sucks. So we are definitely not going to have enough for the seeder as well. And that's like just by the seeder. I don't know. I don't want to pick up 50 bales manually. It's my own fault for bailing that much, I guess, too. Apparently, Greg was saying that David Oldfield was in TeamSpeak with Jim. Jim being Predatory Gaming last night, which is cool. Colt, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Or Colt, maybe. He says try increasing this cruise control. One of the weird things about the cruise control, like you can have it set to like 43 kilometers an hour like I do right now. And what will happen is if the implement will only go a certain speed, basically it'll default to that speed even if you have it set to 40. It won't go any faster. Before, you used to get a warning saying you can only go speed cruise control level 2, and now it won't function any faster. Which will be interesting to see how that plays out with courseplay, actually, because it may or may not be adjustable via courseplay, which will be kind of interesting. I'll be curious to see how that plays out. It's funny, I forget who it was. Someone was talking about... who was it? It was TCG Rob, actually. He was saying he was doing some karting, which is what he would refer to what I'm doing right now. And he was saying that he doesn't like how the tractor gets dirty if you're on the road. Doesn't make any sense like this. 50,000? So we have enough for... Oops, where am I going? So we have enough for the auto stacker, which is good. But we did not have enough for the auto stacker and the not the seeder. No, it stays the same. So that's interesting to see how it doesn't change. Alright, what else do we got here? That seems to be all of the comments from the second episode. It was pretty cool. I think I'm up to the third episode or fourth episode. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't keep track of these things all the time. What we'll do is we'll sell I think we'll sell the last load of barley just so we have a bit more of extra money, or a bit more money. Because what will happen is if we don't sell it now, the price is going to be tanked for the next day or two probably. So I guess it makes the most sense to sell it now where we can get the most bang for our buck, so to speak. Which will be good. I wonder if that's actually accurate. 30.7 miles. I haven't seen it change, so I don't remember. I have to go back and check now. Feet per minute. Oh yeah, that's definitely not changing then. But the little screen below it showing how... What's the 42 for? Oh, 42 is our speed, and then the one above is our RPM, like the engine speed. Which is kind of cool, actually. Alright, so let us get the last load here. Actually, we can probably do 2 loads. There we go. Yeah, because it's going to be I'll have another little bit. Not much left over, but a little bit. I love how fast this silo empties into this trailer. It's awesome. And this is kind of the cool thing, because the silo, or the way these trailers fill, they fill like parts of it first. I keep finding myself adjusting where the trailer actually is. So it evenly distributes it all in the trailer as opposed to just in one particular spot. Because if you were to overfill in the one spot, it actually would fall out. But in this scenario, it hasn't yet, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't in the game, but in real life it would. So I keep finding myself moving where the trailer is, so it's distributed evenly in the trailer. I know that seems a bit odd, but that's what I keep finding myself doing. Which is kind of comical. Alright, so how much do we have left? Let me just check quickly. 13,000 liters. 13,000 liters. I'll have to name this episode Karting. Which will seem, everybody from North America will be like, "What, Ian, what the heck is karting?" And everyone from England will be like, "Oh, that sounds awfully good." That's my English accent for today. Oh man, I don't know. Because if I were playing the way I would normally be playing, I would be doing this with probably a Peterbilt 379 and a big old trailer. But alas, those mods haven't been around yet, or aren't around yet. So, also one thing I noticed is that it seems like you don't use fuel you don't use it very quickly in this game, in comparison to what I'm used to. Maybe because I had the Mayo Initial mod and we used a lot more fuel. Like right now, I've done quite a lot with this tractor, and in real life I'm pretty sure I would need to fill it up with fuel by now, but in the game hasn't been an issue yet. Which is kind of interesting, actually. Oh, 60,000. I'm not doing too badly here. Alright, so I think what I'll do is I will buy the auto stacker before I get sidetracked. Because, oops, not that, Ian. That holds 8 round bales? That's it. Huh. And that would only do round bales, I suppose. Anyways, let's pick up the auto stack FS 6372 Accurson. And then we have 16 grand left, which is good, because the sewing machine I want to get is this Vaderschlag Rapid A600S, which is a 6 meters, there we go, cedar. And if I sold that, I would get 7,500. Let's just check quickly. How much would I get if I were to sell? Because I could sell this, and I would get 4,700. Because the cedar we're going to change to is a direct cedar. I could sell this and get 75. And that's it. Don't want to sell any more cows. So that would be, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. I said it out loud. Okay, 40, so that's 5, 7, oh, that's 12. We still don't have enough. We'll see. Alright, so we bought it, and I think what I'll do is I'll finish carting the rest of that off camera, and then we'll come back next episode and we'll collect those bales, and hopefully, depending on how much money we'll have, we'll be able to pick up a cedar. We'll see. Anyways, folks, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2015 coming at you from Westbridge Hills. Catch you guys later.